Hello everyone, welcome back after my showcase of top actual studies. You may have noticed that 2 of the top 3 have 0 so-called brilliant moves, with the second placer having 2. For anyone in support of the current system, let's take a look at the following fan-made study. In this position white has 2 rooks for a queen and 3 pawns, with the king stuck at a place where it is about to be mated by the enemy queen. For black, the situation is similar, but the queen is defending d8, and the h or g pawns can simply advance to eliminate all of the dangers. Black also has an advanced passed pawn on the a file, adding to white's troubles. But despite the above, white has one move that doesn't lose, one that you probably saw by now, rook to b4. This is the only move to create a threat while defending against queen b1 simultaneously. The rook is invulnerable because the queen is tied to guarding the back rank, but now it must also protect b8. This leaves one square for the queen, c7, but now there is rook to c4. The only way for the queen to guard c8 and d8 is retreating to b8, but this is exactly what white wants. After rook c to d4, a normal move that gives the king an escape loses the queen in the process, which will be decisive. Queen b1 is just as helpless because of rook d1, thanks to the doubled rooks. Nowhere to go, black throws away the a-pawn to deflect our rook's control over d8. What is the problem with rook c2 now? It loses instantly, so one of the rooks must step on the d-file. Both look the same, but if the rook on the 4th rank is the one, queen f8 reveals the entirety of our problem. Rook to d2 still doesn't stop mate, but the key square f2 is covered by the enemy pawn on g3. After rook f4 queen b8, white has no way to make progress because the chance for the rook to join forces is gone forever. With that in mind, the second rook must take the opportunity at first sight with rook to d2. Queen to f8 is played, but this time the rooks has their tasks sorted out. After the brilliant rook to f4, the queen cannot go to the left side of the d2 rook, or stay on the back rank because both squares cannot target white's back rank. e7 is the only square left and the last barrier for us to overcome. Rook f to d4 allows h6 and the enemy king is safe, so we have to threaten the queen again, so rook to f7? Black's queen finally gives up by taking the rook, but after rook d8, she will save the king by blocking on g8. Black will then easily convert the pawn endgame with 2 pawns up. Instead, rook to d7 is the way to go, because you always have to be aware of blocks when back rank mates are involved. Since capturing the rook instantly loses, the queen steps back to e8, and did I say that the last trap is over? Well, there is one more because rook d to f7 allows the king to save the day with king to g8. Only by operating on the left side of the queen does white finally manage to capture her decisively. As a final note, pushing the a-pawn on the first move just leads to a quicker version of the main line. Although this study got interesting towards the end, we can all agree that the previous 3 are much more instructive despite their average brilliant move counter being 6 times less. This shows how you shouldn't take too much stock in brilliant moves, as the true value of studies should be determined subjectively. Thanks for watching and be sure to like and subscribe for more studies of all types in the future. I will see you all in my next video. Goodbye.